Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be continuing the 0 to 2000 ELO speedrun. I'll be playing people at the 1700, maybe 1800 ELO level. I'll be explaining every move that I make to make sure that this video is going to be very helpful for you. We're going to play the first game and let's see what we get. Okay, 1797. Right, they played the move d4, we're going to play c6, then d5, the slow of defense. And now it transitioned to the Khan because they played e4 instead of c4. Would they go for the exchange? Oh, bishop to d3. I've never seen that before, though. Never. So we're going to capture, because if they don't, we need to capture back. All right, so whenever they take here, I think we just develop the knight f6. Then the bishop gets active. All right, so they go back here, and now the knight cannot develop there. This is a very strange move order. The bishop does not belong here. Look at the bishop. The bishop is completely bad. Then we're going to play bishop to f5, because we want to play e6, bishop d6, castle. But first of all, we need to get out with the bishop first. All right, so this move we play e6, potentially bishop to b4, and then maybe knight d5 or knight to e4, and just adding more and more pressure at this knight, because the king is still in the center of the board, making this pin something, useful to think about. All right, he developed the knight, so we can go here right away and force him kind of to take immediately, because then we can take back and develop the knight, because we're trying to get rid of his bishop. So knight here, he would capture back, or we can play bishop here first, which makes more sense because we're developing a piece and we are preparing to castle. So now we are right now pinning this knight. We might play something. Oh, self-pinning the queen is just bad, very bad. Now we cannot play a move like knight to e4. Obviously he cannot capture with the knight, but he can capture with the bishop. And after we take back with the bishop, then we have nothing right here. Knight to d5 makes some kind of sense, but he would obviously just want to take. We will take back with a pawn, and we still have the light square bishop. So we have the bishop pair advantage, which is a good thing. So I think right now we're gonna play the move knight to d5, adding more pressure here. But if he played a3, I think a3 is the best move. But then I would capture the bishop. Why? Let me show you why. Because if we capture let's say a3 and to capture the bishop, if he takes us here, that's gonna be a fork. See how we are thinking here? So he took with the bishop. He doesn't want to, add more pins right here. Now, which way to take? We take like this because this will help the knight develop and target the center. Now, if they played a3, we don't capture it. We keep the bishop pair advantage and we just go back with the bishop, or we maintain the pin and force him to, commit. Now, bishop back and forcing him to commit on this side. Maybe he's going to castle king side either way. And now we're giving him space with a move like bishop a5, then going here, then bishop right there. But we're adding some kind of pressure at the pawn on d4. Is that justified? I have the bishop here, pawn there, bishop there, and he just develops the knight attacking my bishop. And I don't want to give the bishop away. And going back like this, he's just going to activate the knight. We might have this move queen to a5. He cannot capture my bishop. I would capture his rook. So there is this idea. And then the plan is to take here and to double up the pawns, and then we manage to win the pawn on c2. That's an idea, right? But queen to a5, he might just develop the knight, and if we take, he just might take back with the knight. But that's a cool idea to think about. Let's just see what he does under the pressure of queen to a5. What would he do here? Because takes, he just loses the pawn right here on c2. And if he takes right away, he loses the rook. Okay, so that was the right idea. Okay. So now nothing is hanging, but he's going to castle soon. So we either take and he takes back, or we just develop the knight. He castles and then we take, because if he did something else, maybe then we can try to focus on this one. But honestly, I don't want to give up the bishop. So I'm thinking about bishop all the way to e7, because this pawn could be a target. Like bishop e7, bishop f6, knight c6, queen b6, just adding a lot of pressure at the pawn on d4 and the pawn on b2. I think that would make more sense. Yeah, I'm going to go back. And now the goal is to rewrite the pieces like this to target the center and the pawn right here. We're not going to be targeted right now. We can play knight here. Makes the most sense, just develop the piece. It can never be a bad move, right? All right, he went for this move. Of course, we can attack or something. We can go back, which was, the idea. And if you play this move, then we just go back. And if he goes here, we just attack the knight. But if we went back right away to c7, then he can develop the knight and attack my queen again, which is annoying, to say the least. I think I'm going to go here. we're going to be adding more pressure on the pawn on d4. But I mean, a move like knight to a4 and queen b5 would make more sense. But I mean, queen b5, you can just develop the knight and target my queen again, so there's no point of doing that. I mean, queen a6, he's just gonna attack me like this. So I'm gonna go back. There might be this move. At that point, I think I'm not gonna move the queen again. I'm gonna play a move like bishop to d6. All right, so the knight here, whenever your opponent has a piece in your half of the board, attack it immediately. Okay, so I'm trying to play this move b6, just kick away the knight. If he wants to go here, I'm not gonna say that's the smartest thing because the knight is just dead on the side of the board. Yes, he can push b5 next, but then he's creating a weakness on c5, right? All right, so it's had to go back. Makes sense. All right, so now we are adding some pressure at the pawn on c2, but not right away. Only if we move this knight from here. I want to play a move like rook c8, then move the knight back and target the pawn on... yeah, that would make more sense. Let's go rook here. He might play bishop to f4. We might play bishop to d6. Bishop takes, queen takes d6. And then the most important thing, we're stopping the knight from jumping in because the knights are going to be very tricky. Yeah, so now he's trying to support the pawn. I really want to just to move the knight, but in a better way. Like, I want the knight to be here. How can I do that? Knight d8, knight here, and knight here. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. Knight here, we're just targeting the pawn immediately, but we're not trying to win it. That's the thing. We're not trying to win it. We're going to go back. We're going to go here, here, and here. If we can place a knight on c4, we would be completely winning the game, positionally and not materially. Because when you have a great position, you can convert that great position into a win. So it doesn't have to be winning a pawn or winning a piece. Oh, he just pushed the pawn? He just pushed the pawn. That's weird. That's weird, though. Okay, now the goal is still the same. Knight d6 and knight here. But we have to make sure that after knight d6, he cannot play bishop to f4 because we can never jump. And before we are able to jump, he's going to play bishop takes and knight. We don't want that to happen, though. I really don't want that to happen. Like knight d6, bishop moves somewhere, I move the queen. But then he would obviously take me. If he didn't take me, he doesn't know chess. He's targeting my bishop. Obviously, I don't want to give him the bishop because the rook is very active. So we're just going to go back. He's going to play a move like... he cannot play h4. So now we're just saving the bishop because we don't want to ruin the pawn structure. Yes, we're not castling, but there is no immediate attack or threat against my king. So there's no need to do that right now. Okay, he's going to try to open up some stuff. I really want knight to d6, but then bishop to f4. And if I move the queen anywhere else, he's just going to be able to take it and not allow me to go here. That's the thing that I hate about this. I want a knight on c4. So I'm guessing I'm going to play a move like this. Like queen to d7. What is the point of queen to d7? To target the pawn, the weak pawn on a4. To make him do something about that pawn. Which gives me time to play knight to d6, and there's no bishop on f4 to target it. So knight to d6 and knight to c4, we would jump there, attacking the queen and the bishop. And the goal is not to take the bishop, but to place something right there that's going to be super annoying to the opponent to remove. Even if he managed to remove it, I will replace it with a rook, then castle, and then double up, and we can have... Yes, he did exactly what I was anticipating. Just reacting to my attack and not doing something about positionally. Okay, so we're going to play this move, makes the most sense, and now knight to c4, he cannot stop it. Even if he can, the rook will be replaced, and then we're going to try to double up, and now we have a weakness. This is called a backward pawn, meaning no pawn behind it can support it, so it's a backward pawn. Now he's trying to open up the position. Makes a lot more sense. Now we don't want to capture, we don't want to push. The knight is going to be a problem here. So first of all, we just develop the knight. Makes the most sense. Targeting the queen, targeting the bishop. The goal is not to go after anything. We don't want to take anything. Now pushing would make sense, but after he goes here and we capture, there is no way to attack the weakness on c3. So I don't want to do that. If he captures, we just capture back, and we're super happy and thrilled about this. And the goal is just to double up with the rooks. So I'm going to castle first. If he takes, we take back with the pawn. Don't worry about anything. The most important thing is that we don't allow the knight to be jumping in. Because if the knight managed to go here, there is no attack on the backward pawn anymore. So we want to play rook c7, rook c8, move this knight somewhere, or maybe capture then, so that we're going to be winning or having some kind of an advantage. But rook c7, if he played bishop right there, we just put the bishop here. Okay, so now the goal, he's trying to do something with the knight. We have to play rook c7 and then rook c8. If he played bishop there, okay, so he's just going after the bishop, which is not really that. I mean, it is fine, but it's not that great though. He's trying. He should be doing something about the knight, not the bishop. But anyways, we can go rook here, and the goal is to take and then win the pawn. Okay, so he's not even thinking. That's a mistake. He's not thinking about what he wants to do. Now, this pawn is attacked. And he cannot play something like... Okay, so he moved the bishop then. He just moved the bishop. Okay, so now the goal was to play bishop to d6 or play rook to c8... rook c6. So bishop d6 or rook c6. Bishop d6 he can take, and then we can take back with the queen. That's good. Or we can play just rook c6 and keep the bishop on the board, because there might be some chances of sacrifice and winning something on the back rank. So no need to do this right now. We can do it later if we want to. So I'm going to keep the rook here, and then we're going to move this knight somewhere. Oh, I totally missed that. I totally missed this one. Oh, that's a big mistake. I really missed that. I was supposed to play bishop d6. I did not see that. I was only looking at this and the pawn. All right, stop. No more excuses. Knight over here, he captures, we capture back. The pawn is going to be targeted. We're going to try. I mean, I think the knight belongs there. If it takes, we need to take back with the queen, not to allow any checks. Or maybe just take back with the queen, try to win the pawn back or something. Yeah, that would make more sense. Okay. We don't want to, I mean, we can go back and just, you know, at least he gives me the bishop for it. Yeah, at least give me the bishop for it. Now we take back. Yes, we're down 2 pawns, but then... Okay. Now, this is a mistake, though, because we can capture, and after he captures back, we can win the pawn. And after he takes, we take back. He can go here, attacking my pawn. I can defend. He can go here. No, that's not good. What about knight takes, queen takes, queen takes, queen takes, rook takes, rook goes here. And we go rook there. He captures the pawn. We capture here. He attacks my bishop. We move the bishop. And he's going to try to push the pawn. And I don't think we can stop the pawn. I don't think we can stop. I think this is the best move because we're stopping the rook from being active. We only have 1 minute on the clock and we're trying to win this pawn as well. So now I think we should be activating our pieces. Like a bishop to d6 would make more sense. Targeting the pawn. He would push or do something. And then we would... Okay. Now I think we can take. Why can we can take? Because we're going to be only down 1 pawn. Down 1 pawn is better than down a lot of pawns. We can go here. Okay, I think we can go here. Because if he takes, we take back with the pawn. And he's going to try to target and stuff. But then we can push it and we can defend it. We can have something. Or... Yeah, I think here is fine. Here is also fine. Here, he plays something like they're trying to defend. That's a tricky option. I can go here, allow him to take and take with the pawn. I think this is my only hope. Takes, and then pushing the pawn. I can take back with the knight, but I think taking with the pawn is better to have some kind of something to threaten him with. Okay. Nothing is happening here, right? Maybe he's trying to go there. That would make sense. He can go here, he goes there. I cannot capture. Oh, we don't have time. We push? Did we push? Let's push. If he goes here, we have this. Because if he takes, we take. And if he takes... Alright. I want to do something with this. Oh my gosh. I think I need to protect. If he wants to jump in, I think we have to take. Oh, that's not good though. We can go here. Then he would attack and we can... I think we can go here. He would go there, we can push the pawn. If he takes, we make a queen. And if the rook moves somewhere, we can push. And if he takes me, I can make a queen. After he takes, we take back. And this is a little bit of an equal position. Okay, so the thing that we did, we missed a tactic. We missed the pawn move, so we did a mistake. And now, the second mistake that we did, that is playing too slow. So we did 2 mistakes. And then, of course, we're going to be learning from the game review and seeing exactly, looking deeper into our mistakes, seeing exactly what we did wrong. All right, so he's stopping the pawn. Okay, now I think we can go here. Oh, that was a mistake. Ah, that was a mistake. He can just take it. He can just take it. I can take back with the knight, but there's nothing here. I can take with the pawn. He pushed. We go there. We did a big mistake. We're gonna resign in this one. All right, let's learn from the game. Yeah, my mistake. I did not see the pawn move. Honestly, I did not see the pawn move. I was playing perfectly, but I just did not see the pawn move, which is a big, big, big mistake. So he played something really bad in the opening phase because he played super passively. We got the pieces active. All right, so far nothing's happening bad. We kicked his knight away. And our idea of getting the knight super active and putting it on c5 gives us an advantage, as you can see right here, minus 1.5. And after he went back, I mean, the rook is unable to move, so we can play bishop right there, forcing the knight to go back. And the more knights we remove off the board, the knight here is going to live, because the bishop can never remove this knight from here. Yeah, that's something I missed. Takes, we take with the pawn. Okay, now we tried double up. We gave up the bishop. It's okay. And yeah, that was my mistake. Bishop to d6 was there. I wanted to play this, but I was like, no, I can just go here and maintain the pressure. I did not see this move b5. Let's see how many seconds we wasted on the move. Oh, yeah, wasting that much time in a 10-minute rapid game and still pondering this was not good. We were only looking at ways of but this move makes the most sense. If he wants to capture, we capture with the queen, right? Or with the knight is even better, just target this pawn. If he wants to go somewhere like this, then we add more pressure, I guess. And yeah, he cannot even defend it. Yeah, that was my mistake. All right, and then we just in here the best move was what? Knight to a3. Oh, because it's already defended and we're touching a fork. And we're also touching to win the pawn. What if he went here? Then we just take this pawn. So this move touching a fork and also the pawn. I did not even see that. That's an insane move. And I think after doing this, I thought that it's gonna be good for me in some way. We played fine, but then here, oh, this is a mistake for him. Why? Because we can take with the knight, but what if he takes here? Wait. Knight takes d4, targeting this, and he cannot capture. There's gonna be a fork. So rook back. He cannot even go rook back because it's gonna be still a fork. So rook a2, and now c2, pushing the pawn, trying to make a queen. And he has to go knight to b3. Oh, he would never see this one. And if he went back, we make a queen anyway, because after this, oh, we missed a great endgame tactic. We could have taken this pawn instead of taking here. Taking this pawn, he cannot capture this as a fork. And if he cannot go back, this is still a fork. If he goes here, we push the pawn, and he needs to find knight b3, which is insane. So we take it. After he takes, we can probably go back and attack and also attack. Yo, that's great. Okay, let's play another one. Now, of course, in this game, I'm not going to play this fast, and we're going to look at all the possible moves. And let's see. Fuck Israel. Let's play another 10-minute game. All right, India. Love India. D4. Come on, bro. Okay, it's okay. Okay, now this one, Chile or Slovakia? Oh, ZH. Okay, d4, knight f6, c4. Let's see what he does. You can play e6, g6. Okay, d5. Now, the martial defense is bad. A little bit bad. Not that bad, but it's a little bit bad. Why? Because my knight is not here. So that means I can just capture this one. If you capture with the knight, we get the center. If he takes with the queen, it's a slight mistake because then it allows the knight to be developed, and he should not go back. He should not go all the way back. Now we play e4. Now we can take the entire center for ourselves. And the goal of this move is to put the bishop here. What do? He wants this move. Don't give him the move that he wants. That's it. Now we have the center for ourselves. We can develop the knight. We can play bishop d3 next. All right. I think we can go here, though. Yeah, no mistakes here. Because this pawn is defended. All right, he's really trying to do something here, but it's not going to work. So he's trying to go this, and this. It could do something for him, but I don't think so. We can just castle. So as you can see, I have 3 minor pieces developed. This center for myself. The king is safe. This is great. Now we're waiting for him to castle. A move like e5 would target the knight. And after the knight moves, there is no, what do they call it? Greek gift sacrifice, because the bishop is active. I think we can play queen c2. Now he might not see this, and he just castle and blunders the pawn. Because, okay, so he did not blunder the pawn. Okay. We're not, relying on him blundering. We're going to develop the bishop. Now, as you can see, everything's developed, everything's active. And the goal now is to add pressure on the pawn on c7 by moving this knight somewhere. Okay, now playing this move e5, the knight would move, and this will not help much. Only if the queen here and the bishop there would do something. All right. We can play knight here if we want, targeting the pawn. And it doesn't seem quite easy for him to defend, though. Right? Because let's see. Knight to e2, we're trying to win the pawn. That's it. And knight e2, he cannot play bishop there. It's going to be a fork. Yeah, I think we can go back. This is protected twice. Don't worry about it. Oh, he just pushed the pawn like this. Okay. That's not... I don't know if that good, though. Okay. Now, move like d5. Takes. We don't want to do that. There's no goal of opening up this. Okay, now what is the goal? I mean, we just play a good move, like rook e1, rook d1 can never be bad moves, right? You're just putting the rooks on the semi-open files. Okay, so now the knight getting a little bit active, trying to jump here, but we can always kick it away, no problem. Let's put the other rook on d1. He's playing a little bit faster than usual. We cannot play this right away. We can lose a pawn, and he's trying to do something here. So we either protect the pawn, or we just let the knight there. It doesn't really do much. It doesn't really do much. There is a move, though, that's very, very good. That is bishop to c7. The queen moves and we win the knight. Because the queen is defending that square. But we need to remove this pawn from here. You can play a move like d5, and if you play this, that's a blunder. And if d5, and if you push, we just capture. But then he can capture back with the knight. That is something. And we cannot kick away the knight because he can go here. So pushing only if he takes with the c pawn. But if this and he captures like this, we take, but he can take back with the knights, which will help him develop his pieces. We don't want to help him out. What else can we do? We can play this h3 move, just a waiting move, and making sure the bishop is going to stay active. All right, now he's going to try to open up some lines. Makes sense. We want to play... we have to be careful here with queen d2, because queen d2 blunders the pawn on e4 if the pawn was pushed, because two pieces attacking. Now the goal here is just to sack the bishop, and pawn takes, queen takes, and then getting this and stuff. Okay, now I don't know the purpose of this move, but now we can play this. Now we can gain more space. And now the goal is very simple. Sack, takes. He plays this, we push, he goes here, we play some checks, he forces him back. Okay. I really want to sack the bishop now. Does it work? Let's calculate. Bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes. With everything checkmate in one. Of course, not gonna work that much. So he's gonna play something like f5. We take like this, and he takes back with the knight. We play a check, and he goes here. And then we can jump in with the knight. But then he can attack. Risky stuff. Should we go for it? I think this is our only chance. Bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes. And this move, and then we take, and then the knight takes. And then we play a check, force him back. And then we develop the knight, I think, to get this check. I think there's hope with this move. I think there's hope with that move. Okay, let's go. Bishop takes h6, and we're gonna obviously learn from the game review. Takes, now this is a checkmate. He plays this. And obviously we don't play a check, because after he goes here, there is no follow-up. So we have to keep the bishop active. So we have to take. Right? Now, so this is a checkmate. He takes with the pawn and with the knight. We've seen this. We calculated this. Check here, then knight to g5. Or is there something better? What about queen g6 check? King goes here and knight e5. Knight e5 makes the most sense because we're trying to get this check on f7 with the knight. Right? That's good. So check here and here. Yeah, because this move we're trying to get a fork and force him to give us the rook. Yeah, I would say that works, right? Not this move because he can just capture it. So I think this one is more annoying than the previous one. He cannot play this because that would be checkmate in one with the knight to f7. He cannot capture the pawn. He can try to play something like, but he cannot even get the queen in this battery because the queen is already protecting. The rook can never attack me because that would be a fork. That makes the most sense actually. Just trying to get rid of the queen. Yeah, that actually makes the most sense. We want to play queen h6. Of course we don't want to trade the queens off the board. The queen is the only way to attack. We want to play this, and then we want to get a fork or something. Now this move he cannot target my pieces, and he cannot trade the pieces, so that's good. Let's go here, and the next move is to play knight g6 check, force the king away, capture the rook. You know, do some funky stuff. Maybe play knight to f4 would make even more sense because it's more annoying. Always try to be more annoying. Not to use your already existing pieces, but get more pieces into the game by playing knight to f4 and knight to g6. Yes, we're down a pawn, but I think the pressure and the unsafe... Okay. But this move doesn't do much, right? Doesn't do much. Only if the pawn was pushed, then we have to really worry about what's going on here. But I think knight to f4 now would make the most sense. Knight to f4, if he pushed the pawn or something, we have a check. He has to give up the rook. So yeah, I think this move now does something good. Let's go for it. He honestly had a queen here. He actually had a queen there before. Here, right? He had the queen here. Defended by the knight. But then that would lead to a check. Maybe. Okay, so he attacked my queen. That's actually bad for the opponent. Because we can play a check. He would be forced to take. And then we play a check. He would move the king. We would take the bishop. He would take back. And then we need to get the rook somehow. We need to do a rook lift or something. I'm pretty sure this is the only way, right? Is there a faster way though? No, I'm pretty sure it's a knight check. He has to give up the rook. Yeah, he has to give up the rook. Why we're using this one? Because this knight is just already centered in a really good way, so keep it there. This knight, okay, so he just resigned. Hold on, it's not that winning. Hold on. It's slightly better for me, or maybe +2 for me. It's not super winning. He made a mistake here, I don't know. It's not that winning though. It's not that winning. Okay, so we played this, and as you can see, it's already +1 because of the opening. If they take with the knight, then you play the move e4, and then you kick them back, you develop your knight, the bishops and stuff. So that's why it's bad. He develops the queen, and he just went back, so it gives me an advantage. We played e4. Okay, now the goal of this move a3 is just to stop the bishop from going there. It's just time, you know, it gets a little bit annoying with the pin. We develop the knight. Okay, we castled, we got the bishops active, everything's active. Okay, going back with the knight was not good. It was just a one mover. Okay, I would admit it. This one is just a one mover trying to go after the pawn, but he can just defend it. He can just defend it by pushing the pawn, so that was a mistake. Right, I was supposed to focus on the E and D file with the rooks and try to open up the lines to attack the queen indirectly. Yeah. Okay, now some rook moves. Okay, he went to play this move b4. But b4 weakens the c4 and a4 squares for his knight to jump in. And I didn't want that. But for some reason, it's good for him to play now c5. Okay, we played h3. We got the queen to d2. He went back with the knight. We played this move. Okay, now we had to sacrifice. But I didn't like it now. Okay, let's see why now it does something good. Why? Why? He can just move. And he just moved the rook or something. We can push the pawn e5. Yeah, okay. But we just took it a little bit more serious. We sacrificed now. Okay, we took the pawn. It was very important to keep the bishop active. He took back with the knight. Oh, it's not the check with the queen. It's getting with the knight first. But what is the purpose of this move, though? He just gives up the pawn. All right, we take it. I understand. He cannot go here. That's actually checkmate in one. So he needs to go there. Okay. We'll play a check. Force him back. Another check. Force him back here. So we got the same position. And now knight to f4. Okay, he wants to trade the queens. Okay, what happens here? And now queen check. Force him back. Another check. Okay, fine, fine. Go back. And now this fork. Oh, wow. Stockfish is nuts. Okay, so we played the same thing, but in different move order. We got the knight to e5. We moved the queen. We played knight to f4, which makes the most sense. And now this check. Okay, but this is not that winning, right? It's not that winning. He needs to give up the rook. Okay, we have to take with the knight. That's a check. And he needs to move the king. Okay, and now we just take here as we thought. And now after the queen takes, we can just go with a check. He cannot take with the king. He has to take back with the knight. And now he blunders the pawn with a check. We don't take like this because he can go back with the knight and defend. So we take like this first. Maybe he wants to trade the queens. And maybe now we trade. I don't think so. We don't trade. If we trade, I think we lose the advantage. A big chunk of it, but not that much. Yeah, move like queen d6. Yeah, queen g4 check also makes sense. Right. Okay, I'm really interested. I want to play one more game because I still feel bad, you know, about the first game that we lost. And maybe we reach 1800 in this video. Let's see what he plays. E4, d4. Okay, e4. We play the Coral Khan. All right. What will he play? Takes, push. Okay, the advanced variation. We play bishop to f5, classical variation. Would he play the tall? Would he play knight c3, c3, bishop d3, c4, knight d2? I mean, many moves they can play here. Okay, now f4. Makes sense. Let's play e6 and then go for the move c5. Because the Coral Khan defense is all about the c5 pawn break and then getting the knight out, getting the queen out, the rook on c8. And then this pawn usually becomes a backward pawn or an isolated pawn that he can target in the future. So we want to play knight c6 first, and then we want to capture it, and then we aim our focus, all of our focus at that pawn. It's all about positional. Okay, now he wants to go after the knight that is attacking the center. Makes sense. We cannot play knight e7 because he can take the free pawn. We play this, he would take and we would take back, and then he can defend. And obviously we cannot take because then the knight gets active. If we want to take, but then he's just going to take back like this, which is also annoying. I don't want that. So maybe a rook c8 would make the most sense. We want to attack it, and after he takes, we take back with the rook, and then we want to open up for the rook. Makes sense. But we don't capture because the knight gets active, attacking this and attacking this. But usually this knight, okay, now he's going after the pawn. He's getting a little bit more annoying. This move he's just going to take. Because if he went back, he just wasted a lot of time. So we're going to play this move, and if he takes, we take back. Okay, let's play a6. If he capture, we take with the rook. If he wants to take, we take with the bishop. And if he wants to take, we take back with the rook. Let's see what he does. Going back is not good because it gives me more space. Okay, don't take with the pawn. Don't isolate and double up your pawns. We take with the rook. And of course, we want to defend this pawn twice because it attacked twice. Let's see what he does. A move like takes, and getting... Okay. Are we winning the queen, though? Hold on. I thought that I was winning the queen after takes, and bishop right here. The queen cannot move, but the queen can capture the pawn. Not great. So maybe queen c7 first. I like queen c7. Okay, let's go queen c7. The goal is to try to take, and if he takes with the pawn, he's losing the queen. Pretty sure, right? Because the bishop is looking there, the bishop is looking there. We're covering all the squares, but only if he takes with the pawn. I don't think he's gonna take with the pawn. If we take, he wants to take back with the knight. That's the thing. He will take back with the knight, most certainly. We can play knight h6 and knight here, just go after the bishop. That does something. I really want this, but we're only playing hope chess with this move, hoping that he plays this and he blunders the queen. But that's not good. Don't play hope chess. Rook b6 on the other hand, attacking the queen. The queen has to move somewhere. I don't think the queen can defend the pawn on b7, on b2 though. Rook b6, he can play check. Ah, that's annoying. We also have knight h6. I think let's just go for knight h6. Right? Do we have something good? Do I have bishop here? The rook would move and we can play this. Oh, hold on. Only if we play this and he blunders and plays this move, attacking my bishop, but then we play c4, attacking the queen, and the queen is almost trapped. The queen would have to go where? Exactly. Would have to go here with a check. Oh, that's annoying. And we can actually play this move. We'd actually be winning the queen. So now we're setting up a trap, a little trap, which is the move bishop to d3, attacking the rook. Most people, whenever they're attacked, they move their piece in a way that attacks the piece that is already attacking them. So bishop there, rook there, then the move c4. The queen cannot go back, cannot go here, and cannot go here. So the queen goes there, but then we play b5, defending this pawn and attacking the queen and winning the queen. Would he blunder? Let's see. Bishop d3, attacking the rook. Would he blunder and play a rook d1 and remove the only safe square for the queen? Let's see if he sees it. Oh wow, okay, he did not even think about that. Okay, that was a weak trap by us. A weak one. Okay, now rook b6, the same thing. There might be a check because we can win this pawn. We cannot even win the pawn because now the rook is defending there. And this move doesn't work anymore because the queen can go back. We don't want the queen to go back. I think now we can play something like this. Let's go after the rook, go after the bishop. Nothing is hanging right now. Yeah, I really wanted him to go here. Most people actually do that. I don't know. That was surprising that I did not see this move, rook d1. Insane. All right. Enough hope chess. Okay, now he's just going after this square. We want to go here, target the bishop. I mean, generally it's a good move because we're just attacking a piece that is already hanging. So that can never be bad, right? Can never be bad. And maybe jumping in with a knight, giving some checks. Is there a way that we can win the queen? I'm really sensing there's a way, but we need to remove this square from here. I don't know, I'm thinking knight g6 to play a check. He would have to move somewhere, and then we could win the bishop. But what about knight here, and he just develops the knight. Then we play a check. The king would move somewhere, would capture the bishop, he would capture back, and move like this, and he can just go back. This move, he can go here. That's the thing. I don't want him to go there. I can capture though. That's a move that I missed. I'm just in blind. Okay, so we can just take here. He cannot take back. He's going to lose the bishop. So that was better for him to go here, bishop d2 instead of bishop to c1. That's the difference between this and this. So we take. And if he takes with a knight, we just capture the free knight because he can never capture back. He will lose the bishop with a check. And then we just save our bishop. I think, yeah, he blundered in this position. We take the free pawn. So yeah, we just take the free pawn, and then we take here. We're winning we won a pawn, and now we can just place the bishop in a really good square. Oh, the queen goes back. The queen goes back. Oh, we can capture this knight. And if he captures back, then we take here, and now we're winning a pawn as well. We're winning 2 pawns. That's great. Why this knight should be taking? Because my bishop is, we can say it's good, but the knight could be more annoying. But if we take it, we're removing one of the defenders of the c3 pawn. So we want to take it. He's going to take it. We're going to take it. He's going to take it. And we're going to take back. And now we are up 2 points, or 2 pawns. Yeah, I actually love that idea. Let's go here. Let's go takes. He would take back, and then we would take, and take. We just have to be very careful because actually after taking here, there's a better move. Try to find it. So rook takes and takes here. Instead of him taking, like, if he takes like this, there's a better move after just taking the pawn. We can play bishop c5, winning the rook, because it is pinned, right? Always, look at these things. Whenever, okay, so he fell for that. We don't go after the pawn right now. We just go after, because this move develops the bishop. That's number one. Number two, it goes after an advantage because we're going to be winning 2 points of material with that move. Okay, so we go here, and he cannot stand in the way. So now the rook is pinned, and we're going to win the rook. That's great. Great. And then we can go after the pawn on c3. Because this pawn is a weakness. This pawn is in the second weakness. We can castle, add more pressure right there. Okay, now we can just take it. Take with the check. He takes back. It doesn't matter which way he takes. And then we go after the pawn on c3 as well. I'm pretty sure we can go for this. And then we can go back. So now we're up 4 points of material. 4 points. That's insane. We can play some checks as well. We can play a check, force him to go back. And we're also threatening this bishop. He's not even thinking, though. He's not even thinking. There is really the stakes, but then he can play a check. But then we can play b5, attacking the queen. And once the queen moves, and if he takes, we play a check. He takes, and then we take back. The king would move, and then we can go back with the knight, because after some kind of a check, we can go back and sub more. Oh, wow. I'm seeing ghosts right now. So now, most players here will just go back with the knight. No, think about how can I attack the opponent? How can I play the most challenging move? The most challenging move is either a check, or a capture, or an attack. We can check. Honestly, yes, we can check. And then the king moves away, and then we can take here. That's good. So we can check. But we can also capture right away, attacking the queen. The queen gives us a check. We don't block with the rook because then we lose the knight. But after we take here, he plays the check. We attack the queen. He would sack the rook. We would take like this. He would take with the queen, and then we can block with the queen because after takes he would take here. We'd take back. We're up 2 rooks. That's great. That is great. Okay, let's go rook takes bishop. Check. b5. He takes. Give a check, give me the rook, we take back, the king moves, we get the knight in, we blunder the rook intentionally, but then we, knight and a queen, it's going to be a checkmate. All right, he did that. We don't block with the rook, attack the queen. Let's see what he does. Okay, he went exactly for that. Now, simplification. Whenever you're winning, simplify. Force trades off the board. He has to take. I mean, the rook is hanging. And after any check, we can just block. So he needs to take. He has no other option but to take. So takes, check. He goes somewhere back. Maybe we can, wave the mating net, or that's a check. If he goes back, we have, oh my god. Don't go back in a way that allows the opponent to give you another check. That's dumb. Okay, we can play this check. If he went here, that would be checkmate. But after this, he would go here. What about a check? Or what about this check? He goes here. And then we can just castle and then just get the rook active. That would make more sense, right? A check here because we are defending. At least they are close to each other. So a check. He cannot go there. That would be checkmate. So after this check, he would go here, and then we would castle, allow him to take some pawns, get the rook active in some way, and get the win. Yeah, I'm going to go here with a check. He cannot go there. That's checkmate in 1. So he would go here. And I'm not seeing a mate, though. Honestly, I'm not seeing a mate here. So I'm not going to blunder something here, blunder some kind of a counter attack. I'm just going to castle to safety. And now we're going to get the rook in. No need to rush. No need. All right, he did take the free pawn. We anticipated that. And we just want to do something that is good. Like going after the pawn would do something, but just go here, play some checks, and get the rook active in. Get the rook in. Okay, we go here. Don't blunder something. He might go here. Always stay sharp. But this move just blunders the knight. I would say the most important thing at this level is just understand. Okay, he just fell for it. I mean, the most important thing I was going to say tactics. And he just missed this. He just missed this check, and we just win the knight. And don't try to go for ways to get the checkmate. No, just simplify, and it would be much easier to checkmate when you simplify. Just make sure, okay, so he just castled. I was saying, make sure we don't blunder back rank checkmate, but everything's fine. Now, the most important thing in chess, learn from your own games. Even I, a 2150 rabbit rated player, I learned from this game that I played, because maybe there was a better way to win this. Let's see. Okay, we played the Carl Khan, the classical variation. We played e6, c5. Okay, so far everything is fine. a6 was not good. Queen b6 was better, but take. Okay, we need to play c4 right away. Why c4 though? What if the queen takes this? Show me why. Rook b6. The queen is trapped. Nice. But why? Why would I allow the queen to go back? Why would I do this? I mean, the position is dead. Yes, my bishop would be very active here, stopping him from castling. Queen b6 as well, but I don't know. We still have this move. But I was thinking, after this move, if he went... no. I was thinking about this, and if he went here, then I would be winning, right? Because of this move. And if he went back somewhere else, then we can play this move b5, and the queen is trapped. But he did not even think about this move. He just played this move. We developed the knight. We played here. And now we took. Now, honestly, here he needed to go there. Because after we take, there is nothing right here. But when he went back, now we can clearly see what you want. And the only way to get what you want is to remove these pawns from here. So we would just capture. He cannot capture back. He saw that. And then the bishop is hanging. Right? So just take it. And take here. He took back. He was not even thinking what is going to happen on this side of the board. We won the rook. We won more pieces. We simplified the position. We got the knight. And we castled. That was the best move. We got the rook in. Check. We won the knight. And he resigned. Thank you for watching.